Okay, says we are live. Hopefully that is true. Hopefully we are good to go. Um, sorry for being a few minutes late. I did just get back from the dentist. Um, here we go. So yeah, so I've continued to have a little bit of issues with my teeth and jaw and stuff. So I went back to the dentist today. I'm gonna need to make an appointment with an ENT, possibly do a sleep assessment for like how much I'm clenching and grinding, potentially to either rule out or get some sort of diagnosis of some further, anyway, what should I call it? Things are happening. So yay. So yeah, so mom is going to go drop off my prescription at the pharmacy. We don't know how long it'll take. I don't know if they have the stuff to fill it today or if they'll get the stuff in. I don't know. Anyway, so she's gonna do that while we are writing. So yay. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why I put off going to the dentist for so long, is because anytime I start to do any sort of like medical appointment, it just sort of like continues on indefinitely. So yay. But at least the dentist was sort of on board with just being like, oh yeah, you were definitely taking too much ibuprofen. Okay, let's see what else we can do about this. So yeah, I don't know, it's just like I hate going to doctors and medical appointments and stuff, so it always makes me feel like a scared kid again, and I hate it. And it's like learning to advocate for yourself as an adult and learning how to communicate effectively with medical personnel when your background is not medical at all, can be difficult. So yay, we are back. We are hopefully going to get a good amount of writing done. And maybe during one of the sprints, I'm going to call the ENT that the dentist recommended, and just be like, hey. But I also have to call the lab and make an appointment for my dad. I got to do that one first. Anyway, all the medical stuff, it just feels like it never ends. It just feels like it never ends. But yeah, so we want to be here. We want to be healthy. I just anyway. Yeah. It's like I went in for like two reasons, and he really only wanted to see me because of one. The other reason, he's like, "No, you have to go to the ENT for that. We don't do that." I'm like, "Okay." Fine. So yeah. So it went semi-well. He gave me the name of a ENT that he liked. He wrote me a prescription for something that he thinks will help more than what the ibuprofen is doing. And he told me that he wants me to come back once I get the ENT stuff straightened out to do the sleep assessment. And then that will rule out what exactly my mouth is doing at night. And that will sort of help create a plan going forward. I hate it though. I'm like, why do we have to do all of this other stuff? Can't you just fix me and like wave your magic wand and be like, boop, you're better? Healing in RPGs and games and like stories is way better. Like the magical kind of healing. Just be like, divine energy into you. You are fixed. I wish. I wish that's the way it worked. Anyway, I'm going to try and stop complaining about it now. So we can get to actual work because work is not going to do itself. And we are now 8 days into the new month. Monique is currently scheduling social media posts for Blue Sky, and you're helping a friend. Nice. Or you're helping the friend do the scheduling. Are you multitasking or are you doing social media for a friend? Stacy says, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Welcome. You have a doctor's appointment this late afternoon. I feel you. Yeah. Yeah. It's like I realized last night trying to figure out how to talk to the receptionist this morning. I was like, I never quantified just how much ibuprofen that I was taking for the previous dentist who left to start his own practice. So I was like, okay, first thing first, we like must quantify just how much ibuprofen I've been taking, which is a lot. And that's all I said. I was like, I'm taking a lot. But I never quantified that I was taking like 8 to possibly 10 in a day of the 200 milligrams. And I'm like, that's not recommended at all. And definitely not in the long term. So, yeah. So I'm glad that he listened to me in that regard, which is finding a doctor or a medical professional who listens to you can sometimes be very hard. But when you find one, please try and stick with them. Kara says, I always feel like a cornered animal when you go to the medical professionals. You tend to get defensive. You have a history of medical abuse. It sucks because you have a lot of health problems, which sort of compounds because you then need to go see them, but you have a hard time trusting them because medical professionals have broken your trust before. Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. And that much stress and anxiety like wears on your body even more, which again creates more problems. Monique says, yeah, the reason video games are your escapism is because healing, eating, and making money is way easier there. Exactly. Like you can be, a millionaire within a certain number of hours, days or hours, depending on which game you're playing. So yeah. You're helping the friends scheduling their posts. Gotcha. Kara drew the enchanted map number 30, making a choice. You are faced with a dilemma or several dilemmas. Ask for assistance from the universe, from the spirit. Remain conscious and aware. Success lies in choosing consciously. Nice. Specifically, it's for weeknight writers' first draft fall event. Nice. That sounds fun. I'll have to look into it and see what it is. You also learned from watching your latest favorite K-drama, which is what? What is your latest favorite K-drama? Because always open to new K-dramas. That you don't think you can be isekai'd anywhere due to the air quality issues. Now I really want to know which K-drama that you are watching, because the air quality issues could go many ways, because you could land on a world where the atmosphere is not made of the same gases as ours, and so you could then like not be able to breathe and just die. Could be more of like sanitation issues. Could be multiple. It's called Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. A modern day chef gets isekai'd into a historical era in Korea, the Joseon era. I don't know how to pronounce this. Approximation. Anyway, there's a manga that is sort of a similar premise, I suppose, but for Japan instead of Korea. and he gets the main male character gets sent back in time to Nobu. My tongue just got like all twisted up, but it's like Nobu's chef. Nobunaga's chef. There we go. Brain. So yeah. But also he has amnesia, so things are like even weirder. Kara says, one of the decisions that you've made is to limit the number of writing competitions you get involved in this quarter. The fourth quarter, you are doing AutoCrit's Novel 90 and Pro Writing Aid's replacement for NaNoWriMo. That's it, which is fair because, yeah, that's a lot. You contemplated the idea of being isekai'd into the Philippines in the 1880s, but people were casually smoking everywhere. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that might not have been the best, because not only would it be like cigars and cigarettes, but it would have probably also been opioids, probably. Would that be the right time frame? When were the Opium Wars? Maybe the Opium Wars were later. (1839 to 1860). Okay. The first Opium War was 1839 to 1842. Wasn't necessarily directly in the Philippines, but very, very adjacent. You haven't watched K-dramas or Thai Lacorns in a while, but this one sounds very cool. Yeah, it does. Basically, you can't be isekai'd to any era with casual smoking and lack of indoor plumbing, right? But hey, don't you know that's like half the premise of most of the isekais is like putting your knowledge of modern technology to and selling a whole bunch of it and then instantly becoming very wealthy and respected and all that kind of stuff. You spent about half a pack a day for a cumulative 25 years, but you never smoked in the house. You worked in a casino for a while and then a restaurant and got several lung infections. Yeah. Yeah. You were watching Cody the Writer, and he's doing a 90-day novel. I feel like have I seen some of Cody the Writer's stuff? You were thinking of doing something similar. You might have to modify it as you're trying to find a way to document it. Gotcha. Your food allergies are bad enough. It's the kind of premise of Bon Appetit. The main character gets to use modern cooking techniques to impress the gang. Yeah, and that's essentially what Nobunaga's chef is as well. And many other isekais. many other isekai plot lines is very much like very lifestyle. So, yeah. It's an eye-opener in terms of learning Korean history and the relationships it has with other countries and the West as a whole, which is all, if it's historically accurate, that's a great way to learn and be entertained at the same time. So. Okay. We need doggos. I need to change my calendar in the background. We need a card. And I need to clean my desk. So by the way, Wednesday is when we're due to start having windows put in. So Wednesday's stream, I think, is not going to happen. I'm just going to move it to Friday and hope that they are done Wednesday and Thursday. So I will be changing that later, but just FYI, heads up. Wednesday, because I know I'm going to have to move my desk from in front of the windows, or I think I am. And they're going to be banging. They're going to be possibly like having the room open, and I don't want to ask permission of like, hey, by the way, I'm currently streaming this live and it will be on the internet. May I have permission in case you walk into the frame? I'm not going to do that. So they deserve their privacy and a ability to just do their job without having to worry about things. So Wednesday won't be here. Friday we will be back and hopefully have all new windows. That's the hope. And today we have the crow. Co-create with the spirit. Probably doing this out of order. We have 17. That's number 17. 17. I think was 17 the Powerball number. Oh, by the way, Monique. One of the Powerball winners was in Texas, I think. So if you bought a ticket and you haven't checked it, check your ticket. For the like $1.8 billion. Of course, there were 2 winners supposedly of the jackpot. So I think, was it Missouri or Minnesota? One of the M states. Nick says, oh, nice. I didn't get any lottery tickets. Did your friends and relatives? No, I'm kidding. Only slightly. No kidding. But yeah, no, if you see a lottery ticket on the ground, don't forget to check it too, because sometimes people don't know it and they throw it away or they lose it. And, if you pick it up, it could be yours. 17, crow spirit. Co-create with the spirit. As you look around you, can you sense the magic that pulses through the world? Have you witnessed how every thought can become a thing? How every intention can call the universe into action as the sacred laws shape what you experience? The universe works in perfect order. When you align your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with the spirit, you will want to crow with delight, feeling the excitement and wonder of being in harmony with something much larger than yourself. Crow spirit says you are right on target now to see your dreams magically come into being in the visible world. The laws of abundance, compensation, frequency, and praise are operating in your favor. Remember to be grateful and praise what is yours, even if it is still coalescing into form, still residing in the invisible realms of co-creation. No matter what area of your life you're concerned with, what you hope for is on its way, for the spirit is your co-creation partner. So there you go. It's a very reassuring card, I think. That's our card. And then we have 2 doggos. So we have the weekend doggo. Okay, so weekend doggo's name is Cannoli. He has a bow tie for every occasion. This one has watermelons on it. The occasion is he likes watermelons. 12 out of 10. Good work, Cannoli. So here is Cannoli. Very cute. I don't know if you can quite tell the watermelons. There we go. Very cute. Very dapper looking. And then we have Misa. She used to be a bait dog for a fighting ring, now works as a medical alert unicorn. Thinks her new life is absolutely magical. So here is Misa and her lovely medical vest and unicorn. How cute. Very cute. So those are our doggos and card for the day. Lactose intolerant people would have, yeah. Yeah. Well, in general, I think maybe people just didn't eat as much cheese and dairy as we do now. But yeah, people have problems with other components of dairy too. You are a proponent of dairy alternatives. I like a good number of them, but some of them just aren't the same. Thanks for the heads up on Wednesday. You're welcome. Stacy's not going to be here on Wednesday anyway. Monster has a dentist appointment that starts at the same time. Gotcha. So good luck to Monster and the dentist with the dentist appointment. You drew the strength cardigan. Ooh, okay. Apparently you have to think on that one some more. You pulled the Page of Wands. Okay. So creative aspect, creative or career aspect, sort of that fiery spirit. A little bit of impulsivity with the page, so sort of learning how to wield and or restrain their own passions. Okay, let's do this. And again, I might disappear to make a phone call to make appointments, both for my dad and myself. Hopefully that won't take too long. But yeah. Okay. So I need to pull the timer up, don't I? Oh, wait, before that, sorry, y'all, I'm all discombobulated, all out of wax. I think it's this one. Yes. So the poll options for today. Which pest did your main character find in the backyard? Did they find the squirrel? Did they find the rabbit? Did they find the chipmunk? Or did they find the neighbor's kid? Which pest, in quotation marks, is in your main character's backyard? That's the question. All right, let's do this. We need a cute timer. Share. Make it big. Okay. 1, save your document. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with and go ahead and take a sip. Cheers. Three, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. That took longer than I thought to get the right number to call for Dad's possible appointment. Turns out they don't do appointments, they do walk-in only. Which means going at the super crack of dawn. Not really the super, like, dawn instead of the crack of dawn. But yeah, so that sort of puts a, so I told Dad and he's miffed about it, but he's going to think about it. And then, so I may or may not be going with him to do blood work before the crack of dawn tomorrow. But yay. So there's that. That took way more calling around, especially since it's like people's lunchtime, medical people's lunchtime. Let's see. So the dental appointment for Monster? Yes, for Monster is just a cleaning, so she should be fine. Both girls started going early to make it less fearful, and when Karma was really little, she would sit in the chair with Monster. Nice. You chose the squirrel as the pest because it's the most likely culprit to end up in Susie's backyard. They're very much everywhere. No matter where you go. Your backyard. Yes. We had we did have both the crows and the hawk fighting, not fighting, but like chasing each other off this morning. So I did not see any squirrels this morning, which is probably because of the hawk. Your son had a rather awful first experience with the dentist at about 2 years old. He had decay in his two front teeth. And the dentist didn't want any parents in the room at that young. Okay. You had trusted the dentist as he came highly recommended, but your son managed to impart that he'd been strapped down and had nitrous oxide put on. Yeah, he must have been closer to 3 rather than 2 to be able to give you that information. Yeah. He talked about a clown nose and being tied up, and you'd learned that he'd been restrained. After that, you found a very nice dentist. Your son doesn't have a dental phobia because you've insisted ever since on having compassionate dentists. You still have dental phobia yourself. Yeah. It can be very scary. So, Monique says, almost done with scheduling posts for first draft fall. Nice. You're going to go get a snack. What kind of a snack? Funky is here. Serendipity. You arrived right as the timer went off. So you did nothing. It's okay. Stacy got distracted and didn't get any work done. Darn. It happens. It does. And I didn't get much done either, other than calling around and finding out that there is no appointment slot for that. So I still have to call the ENTs for myself. I don't want to, but I got to. Anyway, things are just getting complicated this week. That's all. Okay. So hopefully we'll get more done the second sprint. That's all I could say, because I didn't get anything done other than calling several numbers, looking up. I tried to do it online. There is no like lab work, blood work appointment online either. So just truly a walk-in situation. So, yeah. Let's do the hedgehog next, and maybe we will get more done. Okay, I think we are tied at the moment. No, we are not tied. We have 50% neighbor's kid as the pest, 33% squirrel, and 17% chipmunk as of right now. We'll see if they stay that way. In terms of what pest did your main character find in the backyard? I didn't put crows because they're not pests at the moment. They have not done anything to wrong us. So the squirrels, on the other hand, and neighbor kids have always, so I could answer any of these, and it will be have been something that has happened in the past. So, Monique's self-promo for the self-promo sprint, getting it in early. Your X is a Vampire is currently available for pre-order on ebook. Nice. Okay, let's do the next sprint. Okay, so 1, save your document. 2, make sure that you have something to hydrate with. Cheers. Three, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Here we go, 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I have now made an appointment for myself, another one, with the ENT tomorrow afternoon, so that's check. Hopefully I've done everything right. I've looked at my insurance. They say this ENT is in network. They say a referral is not required for both on my member card and on the ENT website. So hopefully that is the case. So I've got that in the works. Yay. And then Lynn Alessa was asking about the first draft fall. So I shared the link, and it's hosted by the Weeknight Writers Group. So here's the information where you can find it, website, etc. October, sort of the things that they're going to be doing. November, what they're going to be doing. December, what they're going to be doing. And then, like, if you decide to pay for the membership program stuff, you get more perks. But I don't know how much the membership program is. So, but if you want to join, there's a join button down the bottom. So that's that. Yeah. Sorry. Gotta send a picture to my mom real quick. Don't know. Of my card because she is dropping off the it's terrible, but it will have to do. She's dropping out the prescriptions from the dentist. So yeah. Anyway, don't know if it'll help much, but she just sent me a like, do you have a prescription number? I'm like, I have a health card, which may or may not be the same thing. So let me scroll back up and make sure I've got everything. Funky said, congrats on the pre-order for My Ex is a Vampire for Monique. Miss Ocampo writes, here's the link for My Ex is a Vampire ebook. Kara says, I have a new book promo and an audio book review up on Reader's Roost. So there's the link for that. Monique also fixed the paperback formatting. Nice. Lynn says, for self-promo, my 5th ghost book is up for pre-order under the pen name Alessa Winters, I'm assuming. Yay! Stacey says, damn, I twisted my arm again and in pain. Oh no! This is why you're going to the doctor later this afternoon. You are not expecting much more than a referral, but it is a start. Gotcha. I'm sorry you've twisted your arm again, and hopefully the doctor will have something to recommend. So, Monique says, you have scheduled the post for Weeknight Writers first draft fall. Monique says, now you're going to post social media about My Ex is a Vampire. Gotcha. Yay. This is where Lynn was excited about first draft fall. And Stacy was like, "Is that what Weeknight Writer's first draft is?" It sounds interesting. It's basically a replacement for Nano, but I think a little bit of an extended timeline as well. You plan your first draft in October, then work your project during November, and it extends through December up to a certain point. Yeah. So here's the link for that. Monica's going to be working on social media posts for Instagram. Then you're going to have lunch and play at Baldur's Gate 3. Stay says, "Oh, it's Monday. My writing adjacent link is the playlist for your current work in progress. So here's the Spotify playlist. Yay." Monique says, talk to y'all later. Funky got some work writing done. Excellent, but time to brew coffee. Ooh, Chobani pumpkin spice creamer has arrived. Nice. Okay. Mom says the pharmacist found it. Yay, good. I mean, I generally, I'm not sick that often. I rarely have to, so it's usually like every year they have to update once whatever my prescription thingy is, because I don't even know if I go that often, but yeah. So, in fact, I think the last prescription I had to pick up for myself, I don't know if it was last September or if it was the September before that. I don't know. Anyway, Funky says, "Feel better, Stacy." Stacy says, "Funky, thank you. I think it's going to be a long time coming, but at least you're taking the first step." Yeah. Yes, very true. My brother apparently dislocated his shoulder. I don't know if it's his right or his left. Dislocated one of his shoulders. And so he and my sister-in-law are trying to do, because she's a family practitioner, trying to make sure he does the rehab exercises diligently, because he's supposed to go away for his 40th, his big 40th birthday trip. It's supposed to be a bicycle ride across the outback. And if his shoulder doesn't heal enough, that would be a foolhardy thing to do. So, anyway, yeah. So hopefully both Dawdling brother and, oh, nice. The 2 prescriptions are ready. And it's not that much money, which is great. Hopefully Matthew will heal and Stacy will heal. So yeah. Okay. Normally I swear, normally I'm not on my phone this much, but like having to call around for doctor's offices and visits and prescriptions, and today, I swear, it's just been, feels like a never ending thing. But I did get an appointment for tomorrow, which is great. So hopefully they can give me some answers and figure out what's going on with the ENT stuff. And then I can go back to the dentist and be like, okay, now we're ready for your stuff. Yay. Yeah. Okay, let's do another sprint. I'm so discombobulated that I think I might finally be done with all of my other stuff, because I've called around to figure out whether or not Dad could get an appointment for the blood and lab work. Can't. Has to be a walk-in. I've double-checked with my insurance as to which ENT is in my network. Called one. They had an appointment for me. Made the appointment. So I think I'm finally done with all that stuff. So I think I can finally write. Hopefully. Okay. Kara says, physical therapy has helped me through a lot of problems, including agonizing pain in the median nerve in your left arm, vocal cord dysfunction, and now sciatic nerve pain. Goodness gracious. It's a lot. But I'm glad that physical therapy has helped with all of that, which is nice. I'm hoping to eventually find some physical therapy exercises to strengthen like the Achilles heel and ankles, because that's one of my weak points with hypermobility. Um, Sometimes your joints are a little bit sort of like weaker than others because they do flex so much. So I need to build strength there in order to keep them more rigid. And I've never really done that before. So I need to figure out, one, what are the proper exercises for it, and two, how to go about it from a hypermobile point of view, because I have heard that with hypermobility people, you need to essentially do 80%. And I'm like, but I don't know what 80% is. How do I stop at 80%? Anyway, so I need to figure that out. You're all over the place. To be honest, you've been just practicing Spanish in the Lingo Legends app and playing little adventures that go with it, which is fine. It's fine. If it's refilling your well and doing something that you want to do, that is perfectly fine with me. I give you permission. Mom Maggie says your daughter had to wear braces for years because of her ankles and do special exercises. Yeah. Bestie's daughter had to wear special shoes to help her strengthen her ankles. And then also is doing swimming, or has been doing swimming. Currently not right now because Bestie's just out of the hospital, but has been doing swimming as well for that. So driving to PT weekly was annoying, but it was worth it. Yeah. You have to drive 60 miles to get to your PT, 120 miles round trip. Oof. Ouchies. That's I guess the drawback of living in a more rural and/or picturesque location, is that you have to drive farther to get to things. So, all right, let's do another sprint because I need to actually get some work done. Okay, we did the hedgehog, we did the panda. Let's do the otter. Share. Okay, so 1, save a document. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with. I'm now on my second glass. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is, if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Oh, we are super out of focus here. What's up with that? Were we out of focus when we left? Or is that something new? Is it going to do it? Yes, nice. How are we doing? hopefully we are doing good. Hopefully that was enough of a session that that we got a little bit of life done. We got a little bit of admin because it is Monday. I keep forgetting that because it feels like it's been a long week already. But it's only going to get longer because tomorrow I have another appointment, possibly two. Wednesday, the windows are coming, so we are not going to have a stream on Wednesday. That is going to be moved to Friday, just so we don't have to worry about like trying to work around the workmen. So I'll still be trying to write. I may go to a coffee shop. Coffee shop sounds nice, actually. But somebody has to be at the house the whole time that they're here. So, I know, Funky, right? If you feel like it's a long week already on Monday, you're in trouble. Yeah. No, but I do get to see Bestie on Thursday because Thursday I'm going over to drive her up to Atlanta to an appointment, and we will get to see her baby number 2, possibly take him home if he has been doing the bottles consistently, which might be nice. But on the other hand, she said that she would not be opposed if he stayed in the hospital till she's a little bit stronger. So either way, but we'll get to at least see him and maybe hold him on Thursday, which would be exciting. So yeah. So there's that. There is that. So that's going to be Monday appointment, Tuesday possibly 2 appointments, Wednesday and Thursday we have people come and do the windows. But Thursday I'm going to be out of the house. So I got to make sure that if they don't do my window on Wednesday, that I've got to leave everything to where they can get to it on Thursday while I'm not here. Hopefully they'll be done by Thursday. Hopefully we won't have window people here on Friday. God, I hope not. I hope it's only going to take 2 days. So, yeah. But it's going to be a busy week. So I may have to. I've been trying to stay away from the caffeine for a week, close to a week anyway. And so I'm gonna have to go right back on it. I have a feeling because this week is going to be pretty busy. Okay. Let's see what y'all were chatting about. Mom Maggie was responding to the super long drive to physical therapy. Mom Maggie says, "Gotta love that rural life." Yes. Funky, get your work done for the day. So there's that. That's lovely. Because you're the same time zone as me. So yeah, it was like at 3:18. So you're done. You're done with work for the day at 3:18. That's not bad. Not bad indeed. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. That's for sure. Stacey says, "I'm just dragging today." Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. I did not get a great night's sleep last night. So I'm going to probably try and go to bed real early tonight. Because, yeah. All right, y'all. Let's talk about the poll real quick. So, which pest has our main character found in the backyard? We have a tie between Squirrel, our little squirrel coming to eat anything and everything, and the neighbor's kid, possibly also willing to eat anything and everything. Then we have the rabbits, and we have the chipmunks tied at 10%, whereas the squirrel and neighbor's kid got 40%. So, again, Wednesday will not be here, but Friday, I think this is going to be the poll question for Friday. Which moon phase was your main character born under or during? Okay. Yay. Stay says, I feel at least one person said squirrel because of ADHD. Probably. But were you talking about yourself is the question. All right, y'all. Thank you very, very much for joining me today in my discombobulated self. I at least got several things done, which I would have put off till tomorrow or even next week if I hadn't done them right then. So thank you very much. No, you chose the kid. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Again, thank you very much. Hopefully, I will see y'all soon on Friday. I'll hopefully see y'all in the chats on Wednesday at other people's streams. But yeah. So, all right. Thank you and bye.